Hi everyone, my name's Britton Klein, and welcome to this week's edition of Marketing Minutes by Scuba Diving Industry Magazine.
Hi, I'm William Klein, publisher, and thank you for watching our show. If you're a diving related company out there somewhere in the world, reach out to Britton. If you'd like to be on this show, we're always looking for guests. So who do we have today, Britton?
Yes, so today our guest is Clay McCardell, owner of Explore Ventures Liveaboards. Clay, welcome to the show.
It's great to see you guys again. Thanks for having me.
Well,
Yes,
Clay,
sir.
it's
Glad
great.
to have
Thanks
you.
for joining us as well, Britton. I can't wait to hear about Clay this week, because I have a lot of experience with Clay and his boats, and it's really an amazing operation. So he's doing some pretty cool things in our industry right now.
Absolutely is. So Clay, just to kick it off, could you start by telling us a little bit about how Explore Ventures collaborates with dive shops and travel agents to create these mutually beneficial partnerships, and what support do you offer to maybe help them promote liveaboard experiences?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head in that our relationships with dive shops and other agencies really is a partnership. We do everything from providing pre-sale materials and all that to really offering a wide variety of destinations that fits whatever their clientele might want, from various price points to various diving experience levels required, that type of thing. And we've also tailored our booking terms to really help out dive shops specifically, because we know how tough it is to run a retail diving business.
For sure.
But it's been a great collaboration. We've had dive shops that have been booking with us. We've been doing this for close to 38 years now, and we have a bunch of shops that have been with us through the whole time, and we've helped them grow their travel business and done whatever we can to really help them out.
For sure. Wow.
That's amazing. That's great.
incredible.
So something else that you've been very innovative with, and we're one of the market leaders in this, is the Greenfin, or the Dive Green program. Can you tell us a little about the Greenfin's collaboration and how that it's impacted your business, and what your dive shops and your travel sellers, how they feel about that whole relationship?
That's been a really important part of our process. We started Dive Green and trademarked that in 2008, I believe it was, and did many studies and spent a lot of time figuring out how we can more sustainably run our operations, and how we can train our guests and our crews to protect the environment. Obviously, in a business like this, whatever your political leanings, there is, nothing more important than protecting the reefs and the oceans that we so enjoy spending time in. And our partnership with Greenfins came about 6 or 7 years ago. We were actually their first liveaboard collaborator. Greenfins is a United Nations. Yeah, it's a United Nations related NGO that certifies dive operators worldwide, and does their best to protect marine resources. And so they contacted us to help out with figuring out what specific operational needs liveaboards have, and how they can best collaborate with liveaboards throughout the worldwide liveaboard fleet. And so we worked with them for several years to set up their liveaboard program.
So you guys were the test company that did it. That's very cool.
That's
very
nothing
cool.
short of
I wonder how many
incredible.
other liveaboards in the world are using that program. Do you have any idea?
Right.
I don't have any idea. There's a lot of them, but I unfortunately don't have that. Sorry. I know how many
Yeah.
bars are.
That's okay.
Totally. So you did hit on this a little bit, but given your diversity as far as dive destinations go, how would you tailor your liveaboard offerings to meet those specific needs of different markets? And what trends have you seen in diver preferences, maybe around different regions?
Obviously, environmental considerations are becoming a more and more of an important factor in people's travel decisions. We have a lot of people that are interested in sort of citizen science trips, that type of thing, and we've expanded our offering there.
That's great.
The I think as far as what we offer in terms of destinations, that's really the the most important part of what we do. We offer everything from destinations that are suitable for those just starting out and diving to those such as Galapagos or whatever that are more tailored to to higher experience levels, and with various price points, various types of boats around the fleet. We find that most divers obviously are budget conscious. Not to say they don't necessarily want to go on one or two high-end trips a year, but they might want to fill that in with with lower priced, closer to home destinations throughout the year. And that helps both our agencies and and our direct clientele that has a variety of offerings within the same fleet.
For sure.
There's
fantastic.
Yeah, there's a lot of research out right now on the travel market, and it does appear there seems to be a bent more towards traveling closer to home. So obviously that helps, because you have the boat that operates out of St. Kitts, correct? St. Vincent, St. Kitts, St. Martin, I think it is, right? Saba?
Yep, Caribbean Explorer 2 runs between St. Martin, Saba, and St. Kitts on a weekly basis. So we have that close to home. We've got another Caribbean vessel, the Turks and Caicos Explorer 2, that operates out of Provo, Providenciales, in the Turks and Caicos, and those are easy to get to for North American clientele. The northeastern Caribbean is easy to get to from Europe as well. But those are certainly at a lower price point than some of the high-end luxury trips that we offer in Galapagos, for instance.
And of course, you hit the West Caicos Wall, right, on that trip, on that boat.
Yep.
I mean, if you've never done the West Caicos Wall and you're a dive shop out there, you got to book a group to go check that out. It's unbelievable. It's one of my favorite places in the Caribbean, is that West Caicos Wall out there.
Definitely.
So, Clay, I'm going to throw another question at you here. I know from experience, you have a lot of metrics you track across a variety of different factors that you use to judge the performance of your business, the performance of your liveaboards, and everybody has a little different take on how they plan or perhaps forecast or maybe even measure. What would, in your mind, be one of the most important business metrics you look at when you're trying to look at the performance of an individual, say, destination or operation? Because I know banking, of course, butts on boats, that's important. But is there other metrics that you also go by to give you some kind of indication of how that particular business is trending?
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's an interesting point, because each of our destinations at the end of the day is sort of its own little business, and part of the whole. I think the most important thing that I look at, and I've been doing it for 30 plus years, I think at least, is the historical sales data that we've gathered over that course of time. So at the end of every month, we archive all our data, and we look at various metrics on not only how many people have been on the boat year to date, but the the net revenue per person, the everything from commissions and discounts and that type of thing, to figure out how we're doing, but also how our pre-bookings are, whether it's groups or FIT travelers over the next 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, next year and beyond, to figure out, at this exact same time last year, how are we doing compared to that? Are we up or are we down? Is there, potentially a reason for it? Do we have to adjust our marketing or our promotions to accommodate any gaps? Right. Because it's everything's cyclical,
right?
One way or another. There's high seasons, low seasons. Every destination is different, and that's really the most important metric we have, is to compare each destination to that destination in the previous periods. Yeah, at the end of November, what did it look like last year versus the year before versus the year before that?
For sure.
That's great.
That I think is the best information that we look at.
Awesome. And I see that you are going to be at the Long Beach show coming up, the Scuba show, in just 2 weeks or so.
Matter of weeks now.
So are you going to plan to be there, or is Sue going to be there? Who's going to be, your staff's going to be working the booth there at Long Beach?
I know Sue's going to be there. I'm not sure who else is going to be there, but yeah, we're looking forward to it. That's the Long Beach show has been a staple of our show travels for many years, and it's probably the largest consumer show in the U.S. now, so. And it's certainly one of the best run, one of the best managed. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, that Mark Young's done such an amazing job with that show over the years. And if you're hearing us and you're on the West Coast, go to the show. It's going to be great this year. It's bigger than ever. I couldn't believe how many exhibitors there. It's amazing. You're going to be in booth 512, as I recall, and we are going to be in booth 155. So come by and say hi to Britt or I if you happen to be at the show. And then we have another big event coming up, which is hard to believe that we're 188 days out from DEMA, right?
I mean, it is around the corner, and it's just getting closer.
Yeah. So,
Really?
yeah.
Oh my God.
I know, it's crazy. And we're like,
Time flies when you're having fun, right?
I know, right? It's 6 months to go, less than 6 months, actually. So obviously we'll see you at the DEMA show as well. So Britton, who do we have lined up for our next podcast? Because it's not on Monday. I think it's going to be Thursday of this week.
Maybe a special Thursday edition of Marketing Minutes. But yes, next week we have Angelo Fiore, Vice President of Global Sales for NAUI. So make sure you tune in for a very fascinating chat about what's new in the NAUI world.
Well, that's great. Clay, any closing thoughts you'd like to tell the industry or dive retailers that might be listening to our show today?
Closing thoughts. I don't know. It's one of the great things about this industry is you meet a lot of great people and you spend time doing a lot of adventurous activities and seeing somebody that so few people in the world get a chance to see. So, that's it's always something that brings us all together and a great time to be had.
Wonderful. Thanks, Clay. Thanks for your time. I appreciate you taking the time. And everybody, we're going to sign off for this episode and tune in and while we talk to Angelo on our next podcast.
Yep. We'll see you guys next week.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.